Marvel just dropped a teaser trailer for Avengers Doomsday in theaters with Avatar Fire and Ash, and nobody clapped. 40 people sat there watching Steve Rogers return after years away, and the room stayed silent. But here's what matters. This leak that hit the internet days earlier turned out to be completely real, which means every other leak we've heard about this movie is probably legit too. We're talking Thor footage, Doctor Doom reveals, and plot details that Marvel desperately tried to keep secret. So I'm walking you through how this leak happened, what the trailer actually shows, what Marvel tried to do to stop it, why this confirms way more than just Captain America coming back, what the Russo brothers teased this morning exactly 1 year before release, and whether Marvel actually leaked this whole thing on purpose. If you want to follow this wild ride all the way to May 2026 when Doomsday finally hits theaters, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell because we're covering every single development as it happens. The theater experience. Walking into that theater felt weird. I bought a ticket to Avatar Fire and Ash knowing full well I was leaving the second the Marvel trailer ended. 40 people scattered around the room. Most of them came in one big group, chatting excitedly about finally seeing the next Avatar movie. They had no idea what was about to play first. No idea that Marvel attached something huge to this screening. I sat down, lights dimmed, and instead of the usual 20 minutes of car commercials and soda ads, we got right into it. The screen went black. No special warning message popped up. We heard rumors that Marvel would blast a serious piracy threat across the screen. Something aggressive about lawsuits and prosecution. Nothing. Just the standard rated preview disclaimer that plays before literally every trailer ever made. The kind that says this preview has been approved for appropriate audiences, copyright protection applies. The usual legal mumbo jumbo that everyone ignores. That was it. My management team actually got a call from Disney representatives warning content creators not to post footage. Disney clearly knew this was leaking and tried to lock it down. But in the actual theater, no scary message, no FBI warning, just a normal Tuesday at the movies. Then it started. Motorcycle engine. The camera focuses on Steve Rogers rolling up on a Triumph motorcycle. He's older now, gray in his beard, lines around his eyes. He gets off the bike, kicks the stand down, and walks toward a house. The shot cuts to him inside wearing the Captain America suit, but something's different. He's not suiting up, he's taking it off. Carefully folding the uniform, placing it in a storage box, putting it away. This isn't a superhero getting ready for action, this is a superhero retiring. The footage jumps forward in time. Same house. Steve Rogers holding a baby. Just holding his kid, looking down at this tiny human, living the life he chose when he went back in time at the end of Endgame. Living the quiet existence he always wanted with Peggy Carter. And then the Doomsday clock appeared, ticking down. 1 year until Avengers Doomsday. The sound filled the theater, that ominous ticking, the visual of time running out. On a massive screen with booming speakers, that clock hit different than watching a blurry phone video at home. It felt heavy. It felt like a countdown to something massive. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back as Doctor Doom, and casual audiences watching this teaser might not even know that yet. They see Steve Rogers retiring and a clock ticking and probably think this is just another Avengers movie about Captain America coming out of retirement. They have no idea. The trailer ended. I stood up. People turned and looked at me. A few laughed. They knew. They absolutely knew I came just for this 30-second teaser and had zero interest in staying for 3 hours of blue aliens. I walked out. No regrets. The leak that started it. This exact trailer leaked online 3 days before it played in theater. Someone got their hands on it and posted the whole thing to social media. Blurry phone recording, shaky camera, bad audio, but clear enough to see everything. Steve Rogers on the motorcycle. Steve Rogers putting away the suit. Steve Rogers holding the baby. The Doomsday clock, all of it. Marvel went into panic mode. Copyright strikes flew everywhere. Videos disappeared within hours. Accounts got suspended. Disney's legal team worked overtime hunting down every repost, every reaction video, every screenshot. But the internet never forgets. Once something leaks, it spreads like wildfire. Screen recordings of screen recordings, re-uploads to obscure sites. People describing the footage in detail for those who missed it. The leak happened because Marvel sent the trailer to movie theaters early for the Avatar Fire and Ash screenings. Theater chains needed time to load the footage into their projection systems, run quality checks, make sure everything displayed correctly. Standard procedure. Except someone at one of those theaters decided to crack open the file. These trailers arrive encrypted with serious digital rights management protection. You can't just double-click and watch. Someone needed technical knowledge to bypass that security. Maybe an employee with access to projection booth computers. Maybe someone who knew how to extract files from digital cinema packages. Either way, they got in, recorded the trailer on their phone, and posted it before Marvel could stop them. We've seen this happen before with other movies. Spider-Man No Way Home had trailer footage leak early. Avengers Endgame had entire plot details spill months before release. But Marvel usually catches these leaks faster. This time, the footage stayed up long enough for millions of people to see it before the takedown started. Now here's where it gets interesting. Some fans think Marvel leaked this on purpose. Why would they do that? Marketing. If you leak something yourself in a controlled way, you generate massive buzz without spending $1 on advertising. Everyone talks about the leak. News sites cover the leak. YouTubers make videos about the leak. Suddenly, your movie is trending worldwide and you didn't even release an official trailer yet. Plus, if you leak it yourself, you control what leaks. You choose exactly which 30 seconds of footage the world sees. You craft the narrative. You build the hype precisely how you want. But if Marvel really leaked this intentionally, why the aggressive copyright strikes? Why the calls to content creators warning them not to post footage? Why the encryption on the theater files? Maybe that's part of the act. Make it look like you're fighting the leak to make it feel more authentic, more forbidden, more exciting. Or maybe Marvel genuinely lost control and the leak was real. Honestly, I'm 50-50 on whether this was planned or accidental. The timing feels suspicious though. Leaking just days before the theatrical release creates maximum buzz right when Avatar Fire and Ash needs help selling tickets. Avatar movies make billions, but Fire and Ash had quieter marketing than previous entries. Attaching a Marvel teaser to those screenings drives comic book fans into theaters who otherwise wouldn't care about Pandora. Then leaking that teaser early creates double buzz. People who saw the leak might still go to theaters to see it properly. People who missed the leak definitely go to see what everyone's talking about. Either way, Marvel wins, what the trailer confirms. Before I walked into that theater, I was 99% sure the leaked footage was real, but that 1% of doubt lingered. Maybe Marvel pulled off an elaborate fake. Maybe they created decoy footage to throw leakers off the trail. Maybe the real teaser would be completely different. Nope, the leaked version matched the theatrical version exactly. Same shots, same sequence, same everything. And that confirmation changes everything because it validates every other leak we've heard about Avengers Doomsday. Here's what we know from reliable sources. Marvel planned 4 different teasers for this movie. The first teaser focuses on Steve Rogers. That's what we just saw. The second teaser focuses on Thor. We haven't seen footage yet, but audio leaked online. Thor delivering a poetic prayer to Odin, talking about destiny and sacrifice and preparing for war. The audio sounds incredible, very dramatic, very emotional, very much like Thor facing his final battle. The third teaser focuses on Doctor Doom. No footage or audio leaked yet, but sources say it's coming. This will be our first real look at Robert Downey Jr. as Victor Von Doom. Not Tony Stark playing dress-up, actually Victor Von Doom, different character, different personality, different accent apparently. The fourth teaser is the full trailer, the one that combines everything and gives us the actual plot setup. We don't know when that drops, but probably closer to release date. Now that the Steve Rogers teaser proved accurate, the Thor audio is almost certainly real. The Doctor Doom teaser is probably real, and more importantly, the plot leaks floating around are probably real too. We've heard that Steve Rogers doesn't just retire. He gets pulled back into action when his timeline starts collapsing. We've heard that his kids might appear in the movie as grown adults with super soldier abilities inherited from their parents. We've heard that the multiverse is tearing apart and Doctor Doom is somehow connected to fixing it or maybe causing it. We've heard that Thor loses something major and that prayer to Odin is him preparing for a suicide mission. All of this suddenly feels way more credible because Marvel couldn't keep their own teaser secure. If they lost control of the Steve Rogers footage, they probably lost control of other material too. Someone inside Marvel or inside the production or inside the post-production facilities is leaking information. Maybe multiple someones. Maybe entire plot breakdowns exist internally and are slowly making their way to the public. For fans, this is exciting and frustrating at the same time. Exciting because we get early glimpses at what's coming. Frustrating because the surprises get spoiled before we experience them properly. Imagine watching Endgame without knowing Captain America lifts Mjolnir. That theater eruption was legendary because nobody expected it. Now imagine if that moment leaked 6 months early. Still cool, but not the same. That's what's happening with Doomsday. We're learning major story beats before Marvel wants us to know. The Russo brothers message. This morning, the Russo brothers posted something on social media. The timing was perfect. Exactly 1 year before Avengers Doomsday releases in theaters, May 2026, 12 months away. Their post showed a film clapboard, the kind directors use to mark scenes during shooting. 2 numbers on it, a 5 and a 2. Fans immediately started analyzing. The 5 represents Avengers 5 because Doomsday is the 5th Avengers movie if you count them in order. Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, Endgame, Doomsday. The 2 represents either Avengers 2 as in the second movie in this new saga, or it represents Secret Wars which comes after Doomsday. Some fans think the 2 means Doomsday is part 1 of a 2-part story, like Infinity War and Endgame were 2 parts of one story. But that doesn't make sense because Marvel already announced Secret Wars as a separate movie with a different title and different release date. If Doomsday were part 1, they'd call it Avengers Doomsday Part 1. They didn't, so the 2 probably just acknowledges that Doomsday and Secret Wars are connected chapters in the Multiverse Saga. The Russo brothers also included the Doomsday clock visual in their post. Ticking countdown. Same design as the teaser trailer, but here's the detail that fans caught. If you pause the video at exactly the right frame, text flashes on screen. Doomsday, with the 5 styled as an S. Doomsday with the S highlighted. Some people thought this was a hint that another trailer would drop online 5 hours later. It didn't. That theory died fast. Others think the S stands for Secret Wars and the Russo brothers are teasing the connection between the 2 movies. That makes more sense. Doomsday sets up Secret Wars. Whatever happens in Doomsday directly leads into the bigger conflict in Secret Wars. The S could be a visual reminder that these movies are puzzle pieces, not standalone stories. The Russo brothers love this kind of cryptic marketing. They did it with Infinity War and Endgame, posting mysterious images, dropping vague hints, letting fans theorize and debate and build hype through speculation. It works. People obsess over every frame, every symbol, every word choice. Film communities explode with theories. Everyone wants to be the one who cracked the code, and even if most theories are wrong, the engagement keeps the movie trending for months. Their message ended with the countdown clock and simple text. 1 year. That's it. 1 year until everything changes. 1 year until Robert Downey Jr. returns to the MCU as a villain instead of a hero. 1 year until the Multiverse Saga reaches its first major climax. 1 year until we see how Steve Rogers fits into this chaos after retiring to live his quiet life with Peggy. The clock ticking in that post felt heavier knowing the context. Knowing that Steve put away his shield. Knowing that he started a family. Knowing that something forces him back into the fight. The Russo brothers built their reputation on emotional storytelling. They made Winter Soldier, which is still one of the best MCU movies. They made Infinity War and Endgame, which redefined what superhero team-ups could accomplish. They know how to balance spectacle with character moments. They know how to make audiences cry while also delivering epic action. So this Doomsday clock isn't just a marketing gimmick. It's a promise. A promise that the stakes are real, that time is running out, that every second counts. The silent audience problem. Here's the uncomfortable truth about my theater experience. Nobody reacted. 40 people watched Steve Rogers return after years away, and the room stayed dead silent. No gasps, no whispers, no excited chatter when the lights came up. Nothing. This wasn't a packed opening night crowd full of die-hard fans. This was a random Tuesday afternoon Avatar screening with casual moviegoers who probably didn't even know a Marvel teaser was attached. Most of them came for the visually stunning world of Pandora, not for superhero drama. But still, Steve Rogers is one of the most iconic characters in modern cinema. Chris Evans defined a generation of superhero movies. Captain America became a cultural symbol. Seeing him return should spark some reaction, even from casual fans. The silence might mean a few things. First, maybe people genuinely didn't recognize what they were watching. If you're not following Marvel news obsessively, you might not know Steve Rogers retired. You might not remember the ending of Endgame where he went back in time. You might see an older guy with a motorcycle and a baby and think this is some new character or some flashback sequence. Without context, the teaser doesn't land. Second, maybe people are tired of Marvel. The MCU flooded theaters with content over the past few years. Multiple movies annually, plus Disney Plus shows every few months. Audience fatigue set in. People who used to rush opening night for every Marvel release now wait for streaming. Box office numbers dropped. Critical reception cooled. Maybe this audience saw yet another Marvel trailer and felt nothing because they're burned out. Third, maybe the teaser itself didn't grab attention. 30 seconds of a guy on a motorcycle and a baby doesn't scream excitement if you don't know the backstory. No action, no explosions, no quippy dialogue, just quiet character moments. That works for fans who understand the significance, but casual audiences need more immediate hooks. Marvel built its brand on spectacle and humor. This teaser offered neither. It offered something more subtle and contemplative, which is bold but risky. The lack of reaction worries me a little for Marvel's marketing strategy. If this teaser doesn't move the needle with general audiences, Marvel needs to adjust fast. They need the full trailer to hit harder. Show the stakes, show the action, show why people should care. Show Robert Downey Jr. as Doctor Doom in a way that makes everyone lose their minds. The Russo brothers know how to deliver that. The Endgame trailers were masterclasses in building hype without spoiling major plot points. They can do it again. But this first teaser clearly didn't resonate outside hardcore fan circles. That's a problem when you're trying to make billions at the box office. Marvel needs everyone excited, not just the people who follow leaks and watch breakdown videos. They need parents bringing kids. They need teens planning group outings. They need casual fans who loved Iron Man and Captain America back in the day, but haven't kept up with recent MCU projects. This teaser won't bring those people back. The next one needs to 1 year out strategy. We're exactly 1 year away from Avengers Doomsday hitting theaters. 12 months to turn this ship around. 12 months to rebuild hype after a few years of shaky MCU releases. 12 months to convince audiences that this movie matters. Here's what Marvel needs to do. First, they need to nail the full trailer. Show spectacle, show emotion, show stakes. The Steve Rogers teaser was subtle and character-focused, which is fine for early buzz among hardcore fans. But the main trailer needs to appeal to everyone. Show the Avengers assembling. Show massive battles. Show the multiverse collapsing. Show Doctor Doom being terrifying and brilliant and unstoppable. Make people feel like they'll miss something monumental if they skip this movie. The Endgame trailers did this perfectly. They showed heroes we loved in desperate situations without spoiling how those situations resolved. They showed scale and emotion and hope and danger all at once. Doomsday needs that same energy. Second, they need to control the leaks. I know that sounds impossible after footage already escaped, but Marvel has resources. Heighten security on future trailers. Limit how many people see rough cuts. Encrypt files better. Track who accesses what. The more that leaks, the less special the theatrical experience becomes. People want to discover moments together in packed theaters, not alone scrolling Twitter. Marvel used to be great at this. They kept major Endgame secrets locked down until release. Nobody knew Tony would die. Nobody knew Steve would stay in the past. Those surprises hit hard because we experienced them fresh. Doomsday deserves the same treatment. Third, they need to leverage the cast. Chris Evans returning is massive. Bring him to Comic-Con. Bring him to talk shows. Let him do interviews about what bringing Steve Rogers back means to him. Get Robert Downey Jr. out there talking about becoming a villain after spending a decade as the hero. The actors are the face of these movies. Fans connect with them emotionally. Use that connection to rebuild excitement. Fourth, they need to deliver quality. The best marketing in the world doesn't matter if the movie sucks. Marvel's recent track record has been inconsistent. Some projects landed beautifully. Others felt rushed or underdeveloped. Doomsday cannot afford to be mediocre. This is the climax of years of multiverse storytelling. This is Robert Downey Jr.'s return. This is the Russo brothers back in the director's chair. Every element needs to work. The script needs to be tight. The action needs to be inventive. The character moments need to resonate. If Doomsday delivers, word of mouth will carry it to massive box office numbers. If it disappoints, no amount of marketing saves it. Fifth, they need to make the stakes clear. Casual audiences need to understand why this movie matters without having watched every Disney Plus show. They need to understand the multiverse concept simply. They need to understand who Doctor Doom is and why he's dangerous. They need to understand why Steve Rogers came out of retirement. Endgame worked partly because the stakes were crystal clear. Thanos won. Half of all life vanished. The heroes need to fix it. Simple, emotional, universal. Doomsday needs that same clarity. Sixth, they need fan goodwill. The Marvel fandom is massive and passionate, but recent years tested that passion. Fans felt burned by projects that didn't meet expectations. They felt overwhelmed by the quantity of content. They felt frustrated by inconsistent quality. Doomsday is Marvel's chance to say thank you for sticking with us. Here's something special. Deliver fan service moments that feel earned, not pandering. Bring back beloved characters in ways that honor their journeys. Create scenes that make theaters erupt like they did when Captain America lifted Mjolnir or when the portals opened in Endgame. Those moments happen when filmmakers respect the audience and the characters. The Russo brothers
Warners understand this. They've done it before. They can do it again. But they need Marvel Studios to support them with time, resources, and creative freedom. No interference. No last-minute changes to set up future projects that don't fit the story. Just let them make the best Avengers movie possible. If Marvel does all of this, Doomsday could be massive. If they stumble, it could underperform and damage the entire Multiverse Saga. The next 12 months will determine which path this movie takes. The countdown clock is ticking and time is running out to get this right.